Hi everyone, welcome back to a brand new speed build. Today I have an American suburban family home for you guys, and I am so beyond excited to share this build because it is literally one of my favorite houses that I have ever built. And I know I say that a lot. To be fair, it is true a lot. I love most of the houses I build, but for a suburban especially, this is one of my favorites, if not my favorite suburban I have ever built, which is saying something because suburbans is my bread and butter. That is what I started making videos of. I've since kind of started to branch out a little bit because I've gotten more comfortable doing other styles, but suburbans is what I always come back to. And I feel like a lot of builders are that way because, I don't know, suburbans are just easy and they're so cozy and you can still have variety with them. So anyways, basically I just love suburbans, and who doesn't? But anyways, I build a lot of them, and so for me to say that this is one of my favorites, if not my favorite suburban I've ever built, that is saying something. But basically I built this I think 2 months ago or something like that, and I have been wanting to share this since I built it, but I had other videos I wanted to get out, and then obviously I was away for 2 weeks, and then I've gotten sick and whatever, so it's getting out now, and I'm really excited to share this because I feel like you guys were gonna like it as well. I really hope you do, because again, it's one of my favorite houses that I've ever built. But basically, you might notice that this is not in one of my typical suburban worlds that I build in. When I build suburban homes, I usually do Willow Creek, Newcrest, Copperdale, San Sequoia, one of those worlds that are meant for suburbans. This is actually built in Del Sol Valley, which is the world we got with the Get Famous expansion pack. And I know it might be a little random, but I basically went into this build wanting to build a more retro family home, and you can kind of see that, I think, with the exterior, because the kind of shape of the house has a kind of a retro feel. Why can I not say retro? I don't know, but anyways, it has kind of a retro feel, especially I feel with the overhang that is from the upper floor, on the front of the build. You can kind of see it is kind of subtle, and I like that because I didn't want it to be too in your face, but yeah, you can kind of see it. But basically I wanted to build kind of a retro family home because I have been seeing so many amazing creators building retro style homes lately, and especially in this neighborhood of Del Sol Valley, because I think at this point we can all agree with how many of these videos I've seen, or many of these houses I've seen, but this style fits very, very perfectly into this part of Del Sol Valley. Obviously you can have this house on any other lot in the game. It's built in a 40 by 30, so there's definitely not some lot sizes we don't have that often. 30 by 40s we have all over the place, so you can have it in a lot of different worlds. But yeah, I went into this wanting to build a kind of retro style home, and I decided to build it on this lot in Del Sol Valley, and it ended up not being as retro as I wanted it to originally, but it still has some kind of retro elements. Again, I don't know if it makes sense. Basically what this ended up being is more of just a realistic suburban, and I call it an American suburban because it feels very American to me. Obviously these types of houses are everywhere. You don't just have to be in the US to have houses like these, but I don't know, something for me just sees the in my head, I just see this and I think American. So you can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but yeah, so don't get me wrong, this is not my original idea to build this style of home in this part of this world. This is something I've seen many people do at this point, and I don't know who was first, so I'm so sorry I can't credit them, but I've seen a lot of different people do it. So if you want to have some other type of this style of wait, what? If you want to have any other builds in this style, in this neighborhood, and obviously I haven't made any other than this one, you can definitely find some on the gallery. There are some amazing creators that have done some, so yeah, I just wanted to say that so you guys don't think that this is my original idea, because give credit where credit is due. I've seen a lot of other people do it, and yeah, I just had so much fun with this build, and I have so much to talk about when it comes to this build, and again, I went into this wanting to build a more retro style house, and again, it didn't end up being as retro as I wanted it, but I still have some retro elements. So for instance, again, like the overhang, I feel like gives off a kind of like 70s vibes. Like this house was probably built in the 70s. And then I will talk about it later, but like I kind of tried to implement a few different things throughout the build to make it feel a little bit more like retro, but also more realistic. Like this house is very realistic for me, so I did kind of, I don't know, I kind of debated on calling it like a realistic family home, but ended up on an American Suburban because I named like all my builds the same thing, and so I wanted it to have a little bit of a different name. But before I get further into the video, I want to apologize if you hear any type of like noises that you know normally hear, like if you hear any cars or any birds or anything like that. Basically, my room is so hot right now. It's literally 27 degrees Celsius. It is so hot, so I have to have my balcony door open. I don't like recording with it open. I usually close it if I'm recording, and if I have it open, I usually close it, but I can't right now, so I just wanted to mention that right away. So if you hear any weird noises, that is why. Or if there are any like kind of weird pauses in the voiceover throughout this video, it would either be because I paused because there was a car coming and I could hear it, and so I didn't want it to be like too loud for you guys, or I would have stopped to cough, or I don't know, something, because allergies are having the time of its life with me right now. I will talk about this later, but I am not having a great time, and I can not breathe very well because not only do I have pretty severe like pollen allergies, but I also have asthma. So this time of year is not that fun for me. But yeah, if you hear any like weird pauses or any weird noises, that would be why. But yeah, sorry, I just thought I'd mention it right now so you guys don't like wonder until like we're 30 minutes into the video and then I mention it. So I just thought I'd mention it now. But anyways, let's get back into this build, because again, I love this build like so much. It is one of my favorite builds I've ever done. One of the things that I thought was really kind of fun and interesting, because with this house in general, I tried to do a few things that I don't normally do, and one of the main things that makes this house kind of optimal for this specific lot is the backyard. So I don't mean the backyard area, I mean like the end of the lot, like the literally the end of the lot, if that makes sense, like the back area of this lot, because you will see that in the back I put this shed, and that's just because this lot, again, it's a 40 by 30, and so it's kind of big, and usually when I build houses on this type of lot size, I usually add like a greenhouse or something into the backyard to kind of just take up space, because otherwise there's just so much space to work with normally, unless like that house is huge, but like obviously this house is not too big. So I decided to, instead of adding a greenhouse for this build, I decided to add a shed, because I felt like a greenhouse didn't really fit the vibes. Maybe that is just me, but it didn't really fit the vibes in my mind, so I decided to add more of like a shed, and that turns into kind of a like workstation area. I think I put the like woodworking bench, I think it's called, and I also put either the candle making station or the juice making station. I think it's the candle making station that we got from Eco Lifestyle, but basically you will see that like where that is, I end up on the back of it having a garage door, and obviously you can see that there is a garage at the front of the build, so I wasn't thinking that the people living here used that like as a garage, obviously, so that was mostly just for cosmetic reasons. I decided to add like garage door on the back of it, but basically that part of that lot, like the garage door, like that part, if that makes sense, that ends up connecting to the kind of alleyway that is in the back of this lot. And I had never even thought of the fact that there's an alleyway at the back of this lot and that you could do this, because normally if I'm like doing a regular suburban family home, I would just like end it with a fence at the end of the build, you know, or the end of like the backyard would just have a fence, and I won't really decorate it outside of it. Maybe I'll put like some bushes or some grass pieces to just make it a little bit more realistic, but like I won't put like anything special there. But for this one, I decided to kind of connect it to this alleyway, and so I ended up putting some concrete, the same concrete I use in the like the front of the build at the driveway. I used that for that kind of back part alleyway situation. I don't really know what to call it. And then I think I put like a bike there. I put some debug items to kind of just make it blend into the alleyway. And once again, this is not like my original idea. I saw Jessica Pye do this. I will link her down below because Jessica Pye is literally a goddess in this game. Like, she is so amazing and I get so much inspiration from her, and she is just like, she's my favorite Sims YouTuber ever. I love her so much and I watch like every single video she posts. And I remember that she posted, I think it's the lot that is next to this lot. It's a really weird lot because it's really big and it has like 3 driveways coming up to it, but it's just one lot. So when I was like growing together. No, when For Rent came out, like that expansion pack came out, a lot of people started building like 3 houses on one lot on that lot. And I remember that she posted one, I think it was like a couple of months ago. I don't really know when. I can link that specific video down below as well. And in that video, she made some kind of, I think also she made some like retro homes, which again kind of inspired me to do this. Obviously I didn't copy her in any way. I kind of just took inspiration, and again I'm giving her credit because copying someone is not okay, but giving credit where credit is due for getting inspiration is a really important thing. If you're a Sims builder, give credit because it's really important, because people work really hard on this game and they don't get credit and it just sucks. But anyways, she talked about how she also noticed this like, well, she didn't also, because I didn't notice that there was an alleyway until I watched her video, but she was talking about how there was an alleyway at the end of the back of this lot, and obviously the neighboring lot, and how she then decided to do the same thing as I did to kind of like connect it to it. And I don't completely remember like what she put there, so I kind of took my own twist on it, but I just thought it was a really good idea to do that because it makes it so much more realistic. Obviously, like I said before, you can't have this lot on any other lot basically like in the game. However, the only thing that like might make it look a little bit out of sorts and like not like it fits in is that part, so we could just delete it if that makes sense. But I tried to make it blend into specifically like this lot in this world. So if you want to put this slot in, let's say like, I don't know, Newcrest, I would honestly just like delete the concrete and the stuff I put back there and just maybe, I don't know, put some grass or something, I don't know. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention it because again, give credit where credit is due. Jessica Pye is amazing, and really, if you don't know who she is, if you're not subscribed to her, go check her out because she's amazing. Like, she's absolutely a goddess. I don't know how she comes up with all the things she comes up with. Like, she's amazing. She's again my favorite Sims YouTuber ever. Well, yeah, she is. Honestly, I was gonna say like there's some like OG ones obviously that are like my childhood, but she's the one that I watch every single upload she does, and like I'm waiting for it because she's just so amazing. But then I also thought I'd mention it because of that, but then also just in case you want to place this lot somewhere else, you might have to change that, so I just wanted you to be aware of that. But anyways, moving on, talking more about this build. So like I said, I love every single part of this build, and I had so much fun with it because again, I tried to go outside my comfort zone a little bit. So in the like front portion, the front yard, is it called the front yard? That feels wrong. I feel like it is called that, but it feels wrong to say that. But anyways, at the front portion of the build, obviously you would have seen I did my regular kind of like garage and driveway and stuff like that. I ended up putting the like hopscotch thing that we got from the foreign expansion pack, which I keep forgetting we have that, and also it is big because like hopscotches are big, but I thought it was really cute to add that into the driveway because I did have the space, because the driveway ended up being really, really long. So I didn't know how to fill up the space. I put like the basketball hoop there, because normally I put the basketball hoop above the garage door, but I decided to put it on the side because I feel like that's also very American. In so many like American TV shows and movies I've watched throughout my years, there's always a basketball hoop at like the front of the driveway, exactly like I put it. So I thought that was really cute and realistic. And then again, I put the hopscotch there because I had the space, and I thought it was really cute because like as a kid, for me, hopscotches were my thing. I used to live like the area I grew up in. This is gonna be really hard to explain. But basically, there were a few different like neighborhoods in it, and the neighborhood that was like neighboring mine, if that makes sense. Like literally, it was a 1 minute walk between it. It was not far at all. Like I could see it from my house. But basically, that place, my best friend, like two of my best friends lived there, and so we would, when it was like summertime and springtime, we would, and like this not neighborhood, but like this street or whatever was basically an eight. Like it was not like a straight line. It was an eight. It was really weird. But we used to make it like a hopscotch around this entire eight. And it was like long. And it was like, I don't know how many houses were on it, but it was like many, many houses, at least like 10. And they were all like duplexes. So like there were so many houses, and it was very, very like, it was such a long street, but we made a hopscotch the entire way through. And like all the neighbors, or like all the people that lived there, they knew us because like we were very active in the community. Like we would go, it was kind of like a typical suburban neighborhood, to be fair. Like everyone knew us, so no one got like mad that we did it. They all thought it was really cute because like we were like, what, 6 years old and making this. Like it was kind of a cute thing. But yeah, I just thought it just kind of brought me back to that when I was putting that at the front of the build. Anyways, moving on, talking about more again about the build. If you've been here before, this is what happens. I ramble about things. That is kind of my thing. That is what I do here. But basically, I also ended up putting the swing set at the front of the build, which is a little weird because I've never done that before, but I feel like that's also so American and so realistic, and I just thought it ended up being really cute. I also put some sprinklers because I keep forgetting we have the sprinklers in this game, but I also just, that added a little touch of realism to me at least. And then for the backyard for this build, it is like one of my favorite backyards I've ever done. Again, this entire house is like one of my favorite houses I've ever done, but like the backyard, I love it so much because I ended up sectioning it off in a few different ways, and I just love it so much. So I decided to use I was gonna say, is it like concrete still? I don't know what to call it. The flooring you will see me use in the backyard. It is from the Greenhouse Haven kit, and I always forget about it, but I love it I love it and I love using it because basically it has obviously a few different like that looks like maybe bricks or stone plates or whatever. I don't know the terminology, as you can tell, but basically it has that, but then a few of the swatches have like grass coming up between them, so it looks, again, just so realistic. So for this build, I was like, I remembered that we have it, so I used it, and I think it ends up looking really good. And so there ends up being a kind of like, I don't know, like barbecue area, I guess. I put like obviously a barbecue, but then I also put the picnic table that we got from the Backyard Stuff pack, which I love so much because it's big and it's just so summery. Obviously it was like a very summery pack, but I love it so much. And I also ended up putting a I think like the Don't Wake the Llama table, that's basically like a game table. I think that is also the type of table where you can like puzzle and play basically the Sims version of like dominoes and stuff like that. So yeah, I wanted to have this house have a lot of activities as well. So you'll be able to see that throughout this entire video because I wanted to have a lot of different activities in it, or in this entire build, just to have like, this is like the ultimate Suburban to have in your game. Sorry, I'm getting kind of out of breath because I'm talking, and again, allergies. I struggle to breathe as it is right now, and so talking is not the easiest. So bear with me. But anyways, and so there ends up being that little area, and then there also ends up being like a pool area, and I decided to make this kind of like raised pool thingy. I've seen, again, a couple of different creators do this. I know I did it like years ago, but I honestly forgot about it. I honestly like forgot that was a thing you could do because I usually just put a pool like on the ground, but I remember like a few years ago, way before I started making videos, I did that in like some of my builds because it kind of looks like a blow-up pool, which again, very realistic, and I've recently been seeing a few different creators do this as well, so I was like, I want to use that. I want to remember to do that in this build, so I did, and I think it ends up looking really cute. This entire house, by the way, is playtested, and there was like a couple of things I had to change. I will talk about it when I get to the interior, but like the interior stuff. But for the exterior, I think the only thing I had to change was the pool area. I had to change where the stairs to the pool was, because my sim like wouldn't be able to get into the pool. I don't know what was going on. It really, like, she really should have been able to get into the pool, but she just couldn't. But if you download this build, everything should work. So if you see in the screenshots that the stairway and things might be a little like differently arranged, if that makes sense, and that would be why. But I love that little pool area, it's so cute. And then also from like the pool area, there ends up being kind of like a gate into like a little separate area where I have some, where I have what? Where I ended up putting some just like gardening stuff, and I thought that that's kind of like the gardening area. And then I decided to kind of like section off one part again with some debug bushes, which you've seen me use in the landscaping throughout this entire build as well. And I love those bushes so much. They're so cute. And I really like that sectioning off, because then I also put this debug like arch thingy, which I have been obsessed with recently. I don't think you've seen any like of it in any of my videos recently, but like in builds that I'm currently building, if you're new here, I have a backlog of videos. So what I'm currently building, you're not gonna see for a little bit, sadly. But or like sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But I've been using it in like every single build recently because I think it's just so cute. But anyways, I put the little arch, and through that, it leads to the, again, the kind of backyard alleyway, and I'm putting the monkey bars there and some, I think just some more planters and stuff like that. And then yeah, there's the shed, like I said before. And also something I wanted to mention is that you would have probably seen me do this on both the front portion of the build and the backyard. Is it called the front yard? I guess it is. I don't know why it feels so wrong to say that, but anyways, basically on the front yard and on the backyard, basically for the entire exterior, I end up putting gnomes all over the place, but also these like flamingos, because again, it feels very American to me to have especially the flamingos. Gnomes, kind of, I've seen some houses like here have gnomes as well, so I know it's not just an American thing, but I don't know why the flamingos, I keep forgetting we have them as well. Like, I almost never use them, but we have them from their base game, so I thought I'd use them for this, and I think it added like a little cute touch. And then actually there was one more thing I wanted to talk about before I move on into the interior for this build, and that is for the front yard. Again, you will see me that I kind of have these landscaping areas that I wanted to section off, and usually I section them off like from the concrete. Is it called concrete? Like, is that the pathway? The concrete pathway. You go like the driveway. Basically, I had some landscaping areas I wanted to section off from that, and normally I would just use like a fence, like a low-laying fence. We have this not debug one, what? This base game one that I use all the time, and I tried to use it for this one, but it just didn't fit. Like, it just didn't look right for me, like, specifically. I don't know why, but it just didn't. So you would have seen, obviously I did this a little bit ago, but I ended up using a debug item to kind of make, it kind of looks like, at least for me, it looks like kind of like limestones, if you know what that is, but in general just stones, to be honest. But it looks like some stones that is basically like forming this little, like, I don't know, barrier between landscaping and their driveway. I'm explaining this so badly. But basically those thingies, they're not actually stone. They're actually packages. They're debug packages. I just used a swatch where it has like no label on it, so it might be a little weird, but it looks really good. And again, I have done this before. I've seen many people do this, so again, it's not just my original idea, but I think it's just so, I don't know, it just works so well. But I just thought I'd mention it because you might have seen it and be like, Mal, why did you use packages to section that off? That is really weird. But in my mind, it works. So anyways, moving on to talking about the interior for this build. I am actually surprised that for the majority of this build today, I'm going to be talking about the actual build, because I have just so much to say about this build, because there's so much, like, so many little details that I want to, like, touch upon and, you know, talk about. I don't know. Anyways, I'm stumbling over my words, so it's probably not that well spoken of me, but anyways, for the interior of this build, I wanted it to be, again, just very suburban, honestly, so I kind of went in with it, like, into this. What am I saying? I don't know. But I kind of went into this build, again, with the idea of doing something retro. And as I was doing the interior, I had kind of like already scrapped that idea, but I still wanted to be a few kind of like retro elements. So for like the exterior, like I said before, I used the picnic table that we got from the backyard stuff pack, and I used it in a swatch which I never use, but it's kind of this like stripy swatch, and for like, to me, that looks a little bit retro. So I wanted, like, it's small details like that. So for the interior, there's not that many small details like that, but there's like a couple, like the in the living room, I end up using the couches that we got from the not horse ranch, cats and dogs expansion pack, and I love these couches. I use them all the time, but I use them in this kind of like stripy swatch, which again, never use. Like, I never use this. I usually just use the cream swatch of these couches, but I ended up using it in these like stripy swatches. I need to stop saying stripy. That sounds really weird. But anyways, I ended up using that, and it's kind of retro. Maybe I just associate stripes with retro. Maybe I'm wrong with doing that. Obviously, I was not alive in the 70s, and like 50s and 60s and 80s. That's kind of like retro style-ish. Some people are gonna get at me now because they're probably born in like the 70s or 80s, and they're like, it's not retro, but like it technically is. I know I'm a Gen Z, so I know I probably shouldn't be speaking about this, but like it kind of is. But anyways, again, for me, these couches look a little bit retro. I also end up using there is no fireplace in this build, by the way, which there usually is a fireplace in all my builds, but for this one, it just didn't work out with how the living room is. But anyways, I ended up using the, like, side table, TV table thingy. Basically, the thing that the TV is on, the side table that the TV is on. That table is from I think the Basement Treasures kit. I ended up using a lot of things from that kit as well, because it is kind of a retro-y ish kit, obviously, but I ended up using this side table, and in the middle it looks like there's supposed to be a TV, and it's kind of a little bit like cracked, and it looks kind of old, and in general that side table looks old and retro-y. I'm gonna stop saying retro-y. I feel like retro-y is a really weird word as well. But anyways, so I wanted to use the side table, but obviously I didn't want the TV to be there, so I did this thing that I've seen, again, a couple of other people do. I think the first one I saw do it was Jessica Pye, so again, credit where credit is due, but basically I used this like cork board that we have from the base game, actually, and I basically used the tool mod to just like drag it in place of it, and it fits in there so well. And then I kind of just cluttered it up with some like kids drawings and some postcards and stuff like that, and I think, again, it's kind of retro-y. Again, I need to stop saying that word, but like, again, it has this retro feel to it, and I think it's just kind of cute. Like, you can display things there as well. I don't know what I'm talking about. I also ended up using the record player in the living room that we got from the Modern Luxe kit, because when I built this, we hadn't gotten the Party Essentials kit, which in the Party Essentials kit we got this like kind of record playing system thingy. Like, it's kind of more like a bigger thing. I don't know how to explain it, but basically I end up using just the record player that we got, like the vinyl record player that we got from the Modern Luxe kit in the living room. Again, the retro vibes, and behind it I used the bookcase that we got from the Moschino Stuff pack. This entire build is not it is play tested. What am I saying? It's not pack restricted, so I'm so sorry about that. You will actually be getting a pack restricted build very soon, so that's exciting. But anyways, that's kind of why I'm mentioning like all of these packs, because I used all of them. Behind that, again, I used the bookshelf from the Moschino Stuff pack, and I loved using this bookshelf because it kind of looks like there's some vinyl records in it, so it kind of just fit in with the whole theme. And then in the kitchen, the like tiling I used, like the backsplash, is from Parenthood, and again, I used it in a swatch I never do, but again, kind of just fits in with the whole retro theme. So in general, this house didn't end up being like, this is not, okay, I don't know how to explain this, but this house is not being lived in the 70s, if that makes sense. It's being lived in like modern day, but it was probably built in the 70s, and maybe the parents of this house, maybe they grew up here and they kind of like inherited it, and so they haven't changed a lot of things, or maybe this is just their style, who knows. But again, it's very realistic to me. It's very cozy and comfy, and I really like it. But anyways, actually I just realized I haven't spoken about the family for this house. This house has 3 bedrooms with 4 beds. If that makes sense. It doesn't. Basically, it ends up being a bunk bed in one of the bedrooms. So it ends up being 3 bedrooms, and they're all on the 2nd floor. And this house is actually smaller than you would think, because there's not even an office. The kind of like family computer, you know, the desk area in this house ends up being right outside the kitchen. I don't think I kept that footage in. I think I edited it out. But yeah, there ends up being a family computer. Don't worry. I made sure of that, because like playing this game and not having a computer in the house somewhere can be a pain, and I didn't want the only computer to be in the teens room. Like, that would be a little weird. But yeah, so I kind of already mentioned it. There's for 2 parents and then a teen and then 2 children. Again, there's a bunk bed, and the parents' bedroom is very, you know, typical. I don't really know what to tell you about it. It's a very like generic parents' bedroom. But then the teen's bedroom is, I don't know, I love it. It is so kind of realistic, at least for me, and it's very kind of cute and cozy. I was thinking of very much the kind of like stereotypical American high school like teenage girl, if that makes sense. Obviously you can have whoever you want in there, it does not have to be that, but in my head and for my save file, because this house is going to go into my save file, I'm gonna have like kind of stereotypical like teenage girl in there. And I don't know what she's into. I don't really know. I put some like cheerleading stuff in there, put some, you know, like makeup stuff in there, but I also put some like posters of music and like whatever. I think, again, there's just a teenage girl trying to figure out what they're into, maybe. And I think that like that room just ends up being so cute. And to kind of fit with the retro vibe, again, I end up using the bed that we got from the high school year expansion pack. Actually, now that I'm saying that, we have a lot of beds from that pack. I always use those beds like for any teens room, because we have so many different beautiful swatches. But I end up using the bed that is kind of like this woven bed frame, if it makes sense. Like, if you've ever seen it, you will know what I'm talking about. And usually if I use that bed, I use one of 2 swatches. Well, not one of 2 swatches, 2 of all the swatches. I don't know, I said one of 2 swatches. We have a lot of swatches in it. But basically, I almost always just use this swatch that has a kind of like celestial theme, and this kind of like, it has one, like, I think purple pillows, and then some like black and white bedding, that has this kind of like moon and star and whatever, which I use because that is my personal style. That is what I use personally. Like, that is a bed I would have. That fits the theme with my entire room. I've talked about this so many times, but that is like my style. So if I use that bed, I tend to gravitate towards that. But for this house and for this particular room, I decided to use a bed, a swatch, that has this kind of like pink wavy pattern. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very trippy. And again, it just fits the whole like 80s theme. I feel like that's more 80s than 70s, but I love it so much. And it kind of set off the theme for the entire room, and I love it. It's so cute. This, again, that entire room, I love. And for me, it's really realistic. I end up putting posters everywhere. Actually, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent here, because basically today, on Twitter, I posted a picture of a room in my work in progress build, and I'm like, basically the build I'm currently working on, and I posted a picture of the teens room in that build, and I was like, help. I need help with these, like, my poster obsession, because I have realized recently I put probably way too many posters in specifically teens rooms, and I know that might be a little bit weird to some people, but like for me it's not. In my room, again, I have like tapestries everywhere. I have tarot cards up. I have posters. Well, I don't actually have posters, but I have like drawings that either I have drawn or my mom has drawn. I have like I can currently see like a Polaroid picture thingy that I got with my friends, you know, one of those like phone booths ones. One of those I can currently see. I have some like, again, paintings and drawings that I have done. Sorry, that was a dog. I apologize. But you know, I have things like that all over my walls. So I kind of like implement it into all my teens rooms, because even though I am no longer a teen, I turned 20 like 3 weeks ago when you see this. I turned the middle of April, but yeah, I'm 20 now. It feels wrong to say. I feel old. I know I'm gonna get comments being about like, you feel old? I'm old. I don't actually feel old, but like, I was recently a teen, basically. And so birds, okay, sorry, the birds are having a fight outside. Hold on. I think the birds might have calmed down a little bit. They might start up again. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I kind of like implement my own things into my builds, and I feel like a lot of people do that. And so again, a lot of my teens rooms especially, there the birds go again. You know what? We're just gonna endure it. Hopefully my mic is not picking up too much of it. I apologize if it is. But anyways, I know that it might be a little bit like too much. The posters might be too much, but for me it's realistic, and I'm sorry, I might try to tone it down a little bit, but I think it works, especially for like a room like this, where again, I was thinking that this teen is the kind of like stereotypical teenage girl from like teen rom-com Disney movies, you know, where they have like posters all like, you know how you would see like the teen rooms in like Disney shows and Disney movies growing up, and you'd be like, oh my god, like this, it's so cool because they have like posters everywhere. They have like, I don't know I don't know why I'm just thinking of the the bedroom of Demi Lovato's character in Camp Rock. I don't know why that was the first thing that came into my mind, because I'm just thinking of the keyboard, and I was gonna say that like they would have keyboards in their rooms. Not actually, a lot of those rooms would have keyboards. That is just the one that comes into my mind. But like, you know, those types of teens rooms, like that was kind of what I was trying to do in that bedroom. But basically, yeah, that's that room. Anyways, I'm messing up my words. I'm so tired. I'm delirious. I am. Like, because of the whole allergy thing, I'm not sleeping currently either. I'm sleeping in like 2-hour intervals, because I wake up and not being like, I wake up because I'm like, I can't breathe, and it's a whole thing. Anyways, if I sound delirious, that is why. And then for the kids room, again, I end up using some bunk beds in there. I think the ones I end up using are from the Growing Together expansion pack. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. In that room, I just wanted it to be for, again, some kind of like generic kids. In general, I wanted this build to be kind of like stereotypical American Suburban. I mean, after all, I did call it a American Suburban. But like, yeah, I just wanted to be like very like, they're into everything and anything. Like, I think I ended up using the or putting the like Void Critter station in there that we got from the kids rooms stuff pack. So they're probably into like that, and like maybe video games in general, and then maybe they're into sports, or like maybe one of the kids is into sports and the other one is into video games. I don't know. I think for my safe fail, I'm gonna make it so that they're twins, but obviously you don't have to have twins in there. You can actually just have like one kid and like use the other bunk for I don't know what my voice just did, but you can use the other bunk for like, I don't know, sleepovers or something. But yeah, again, I could have just put like generic stuff in there, like general stuff. Like, there's just stuff that like any kid would like. There's not just like catered toward just like, this kid is really into sports, I'm gonna put just sports stuff, or this kid is really into science, so I'm just gonna put science stuff, and you know, that stuff. So I kind of just put whatever, and I just really like it. I think it ends up being really cute. But yeah, I don't know if there was anything else I wanted to mention about this build. The birds are going at it again. I don't know why. I've been pushing recording this video like the entirety of today, because number one, I knew it was gonna be hard on me because of the whole like allergy situation, and like my throat is very itchy, so talking is really hard, and I can't breathe, so like talking in general is also hard because of that. And you know, allergy season in general is killing me. Like, again, I'm not getting sleep, like I knew it was gonna be hard because of that. I literally debating. Now my dog is going crazy. I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry if you hear weird noises. Honestly, I normally would just like pause and continue recording in like a couple of minutes when they calm down, but I just want to get this done with because I'm in so much pain right now. Like my throat is in so much pain, and so I just want to get this over with. So I'm gonna continue, and I'm so sorry. But I don't even know what I was talking about. Basically, allergy season is hell for me, and so I was debating pushing this video until next week. So I was like, I don't even know if I can record this week, but I will do anything for you guys, and I will, still record. I am happy to report though that if you watched last week's video, my leg is okay now. It was weird for a couple of days, and my feet were also like weird for a couple of days, but for basically like a week, but now it's fine. Don't worry, I am totally fine now. Someone commented and was like, please go to a hospital and check that out, which thank you for being concerned, but I'm totally fine. Don't worry. Just thought I'd give you an update on that. I don't know, not that any of you care, but like if you do, by an off chance, just thought I'd mention it. Also, now the wind is going at it. I'm so sorry. But then also, I've been pushing recording this because, again, I have my my balcony door open, and I live, again, I've talked about this before, but like I live in a like small village on the countryside, so there's not like a lot of traffic here. Like it's not like it's a city, but it's a summer town, and it's been a like national holiday here today, and technically yesterday as well. But like, which you might be like, why are you talking about this now? I'm mentioning it because I live in kind of like a touristy summer town or village, and the town next to me is also the same. A lot of people have been here this like today because, again, people who have like summer houses here, they're here now and stuff like that. So it's a lot more traffic than normal. And then again, the birds have just been crazy, and then obviously my family is awake right now because I was gonna record this tonight, but then I realized that I'm gonna be way too tired. So I'm so sorry if you've heard any weird noises throughout this entire video. I'm so sorry. Anyways, again, I don't think I had anything else I want to talk about when it came to the build specifically. As always, if you have any questions, just ask me down below. This build is obviously up on the gallery. My gallery ID is 604. The tray files will be linked down below. If they're not, remind me in the comments. Because I forget about that all the time. I actually, as I'm saying that, I don't think I uploaded last week's. I need to do that. But yeah, anyways, how are you guys? I hope you're better than me. I hope you're having a better time than I am, because I am dying. I hate having asthma and allergies at the same time because it's hell. My entire family right now are kind of just like all going through it because of like pollen and stuff, but me especially with my asthma, it's really bad because I have this really terrible cough right now, and I can't sleep because of that, and just like in general I can't breathe, so that's always fun. I hope you guys are better. What have you been up to? Have you been playing any fun games? Have you done anything fun? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out something to talk about. I mean, I'm really good at rambling, so I'm just gonna do that for the next, I don't know, like 10 minutes is how long we have, I think so. But yeah, how are you guys? I hope you're good. Oh yeah, actually, last week, I wanted to talk about this because it's really funny. Because last week, I was talking about how me and my boyfriend have been playing, like, a lot of games together. I mean, we always do, but we've been playing, this kind of, like, new game together, and that's mostly what I had been doing last week, so I was talking about that, and I was talking about the new Taylor album, and how he was, like, listening along with it and stuff like that. And so, obviously, I talked about him more than I usually do. I mention him sometimes, but I don't normally make, like, a lot of comments about him, because it's my private life, you know? Although he has told me that I can say whatever I want, about him, like, he doesn't care. And the thing is, he doesn't play The Sims at all. He doesn't care. However, he watches every single one of my videos because he is amazing and very supportive. And so last week I posted the video, and obviously I schedule my posts, and I was really tired because the allergy had kind of like started to kick in then, so I was really tired, and I took a little nap when the video was posting, and so I woke up a couple of hours later, and I had a message from my boyfriend, and I was just like, that's normal. I usually wake up to a message from my boyfriend, but it was just like, hey love, don't worry, like, this is like, I Basically, it was like, I think he said like, "Hey love, don't worry, this is nothing serious, but when you wake up, I want to talk about something you did in your video." And I was like, oh god, what did I do now? Like, did I say something he didn't want me to? Because again, he's told me that it's fine that I can talk about like whatever, when it comes to like him and our relationships, or like whatever, I can talk about whatever. But I was still like kind of scared, and I'm like very much an overthinker. Like, I overthink everything and anything. It's a problem. Like, I'm a professional overthinker, basically. I like, and my mind was going crazy, and I was like, oh my god, what did I do? Like, did I say something he didn't want me to? Like, do I have to take the video down? Like, what is it? And I messaged him back, and then he didn't respond for like 10 minutes. And in those 10 minutes, I had a mental breakdown. Not gonna lie, I had a whole ass mental breakdown. And then he's like, oh, you know the roof you put into this on the exterior? Yeah, it hangs over the stairs to the second floor, and you would hit your head on that. This man made me have almost a full-on like anxiety attack, like panic attack, mental breakdown. And it was all just because of the roof of that build. Which, if you watched the build, you might know what I'm talking about. But he was like, your Sims would hit their head on it. Like, it wouldn't make sense. And I'm like, dude, I love you, but it's the Sims. It doesn't matter. And they can actually go on the left side of it. Like, I literally looked at it. But, like, this man made me have a heart attack. And it was just about that. Which, obviously, he didn't know that I was going to freak out. Because he literally said in the message, he was like, it's nothing bad. But, like, that makes me think it's bad. So it was a whole thing. Then we just laughed about it. Like, I was really not mad about it at all. It was really funny, but yeah, it was just really funny. Because the thing is, he did construction as well in college and stuff. That's not what he does now, but like, he knows construction things. And I think that was just like bugging him so much because of that. And then also, he is a perfectionist and like likes things in a certain order and stuff like that. A lot like me. And I think it was just bugging him so much. But oh my god, the heart attack I had over that video. And I really thought I would have to take it down. But no, it was just about that. So, yeah. I mean, it's really, really sweet that he watches my videos, though, because he really doesn't have to. I don't actually know if he watches with sound on, because I think he has it on, like, on his second monitor while he's doing something. But, you know what? He's adorable. But oh my god. Like, I don't like if you're an overthinker like me, you will understand like why that scared the ever living thing out of me. I was gonna say the S word there, but like, okay, I swear on the channel. You've been here before. I do swear, but like, I try not to say bad words, and I don't know if the S word is like a bad word. Like, I don't think so, but I just try to not do it too much because I'm really scared I'm gonna get like demonetized or something. I don't actually know how that works, but you know, better safe than sorry, you know. I don't know. We're almost at the end of the video. I'm delirious right now. My voice is killing me, or my throat is killing me because my voice is dead, as you can probably tell. And yeah, I'm just really happy that I was able to get this video up because I love this video. This build, oh my god. I love this build like so much. It's one of my favorite builds that I've ever done. Like I've said like 5 times now. But anyways, that's basically it for this video, and I really hope you liked it, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!